India is poised to become one of the world's largest two-wheeler market by 2025, with over 25% of two-wheelers expected to be electric. This transformation is driven by the growing demand for sustainable transportation solutions, government initiatives, and technological innovations. Companies like PUREEV, a pioneer in electric two-wheeler segment, are leading this charge. Founded in 2018 at IIT Hyderabad, PUREEV has rapidly grown to become a major player in the market. Hi, I'm Mansa Channapragada, and today we are at the headquarters of PUREEV, where cutting-edge research is shaping the future of electric mobility. Joining us is Dr. Nishanth Dongari, the founder of PUREEV and a key figure in India's EV revolution. An IIT Bombay graduate with a PhD in mechanical and aerospace engineering, Dr. Nishanth's journey spans prestigious institutions in Germany, Switzerland, and UK, where he earned the Marie Curie Fellowship. His extensive work with DRDO on high-altitude defense systems has equipped him with a deep understanding of how to take project from concept to reality, which he now applies for his work at PUREEV. As India prepares to lead the global two-wheeler market, we discuss the challenges, innovations, and the road ahead for PUREEV. So we are here with Dr. Nishanth Dongari, the founder of PUREEV, where we are going to discuss about the future of electric mobility. Welcome, Nishanth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with the innovation of PUREEV. PUREEV was incubated at IIT Hyderabad, so which is a unique start for a commercial venture, right? So how does research play in the growth of PUREEV?
See, me and Rohit have started Pure, which is incubated out of IIT Hyderabad in 2018. So for initial 2-3 years, IIT Hyderabad acted as a catalyst. It has given us a huge impetus for the initial growth of the product development, rapid prototype development, even in terms of the commercial and business growth also. Just to be candid, initially all the 15 verticals of the PUREEV, right from across all departments of the business, all our students graduated in 2017, 2018 have joined and headed these departments actually. So that's there is a lot of human capital available in places like IIT Hyderabad, and also coming to the infrastructure, it could be R&D labs, engineering labs, and there are certain facilities which is very difficult for even large scale companies to put up actually. So those kind of facilities, and as well as the some kind of business facilities so all these significantly helped us to grow with a lesser hassle in the first 2-3 years. And I can say IIT Hyderabad has been a true angel for PUREEV.
And if we see your experience in advanced energy system, so what is your view about the future of electric mobility? And you have international experience too. So how are you applying this in the PUREEV's growth to compete globally?
See, coming to the advanced energy systems, if you see how the energy systems have evolved in the last 100-120 years, so the lead acid has taken almost it was ruling the market for 70, 80, 90 years. Then various other technologies come. But I think the last 10 years to the next 15-20 years, the cycle for the advanced energy systems is going to build for the lithium-ion technology actually. And it is very complex to understand, design, even to develop an application with lithium-ion batteries. I mean, from a thermal management perspective, and also from the way you have to do the software development, because see, it's not just the energy standalone, because it is running certain applications. So definitely the international experience has significantly helped us to access the right supply chain in the beginning, and to get the designs done from an Indian customer's perspective, mainly the thermals, the overall mechanical safety, the electronics, the electrical, all the algorithms. So I see the lithium-ion has a long way to go in the next 10, 20, 30 years, and definitely I see more and more new technologies like solid state also will come and disrupt this space.
So definitely I can say that, electric mobility is global, and with your international experience, PUREEV is going to be definitely at the forefront.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have already been at the forefront since last 4 years in a limited time. We have consistently remained as a top 10 player. And now, with the mix of technology and the business expansion, we want to be the front runner in this industry.
You have extensive experience during your work time at DRDO. So what learning you have implemented in EV industry?
See, in DRDO and ISRO, especially at DRDO, I worked for more than 7-8 years consistently across 5-6 projects actually, starting with so all these are ballistic defense missile systems, operating at altitude of 80, 200, 300 kilometers, So starting with PDV1, 81, 82, Mission Shakti and all. So what I've learned there, more than the scientific or the R&D stuff, it is how do you start a project from concept to prototype, and work with wide variety of people, so right from ground level technicians who are coming from this ITI diploma background and all, and scientists, senior scientists who worked not just at DRDO, maybe coming from various places and all. Then there were decision makers who are policy makers who are coming from bureaucratic background and army kind of people actually, and taking these kind of projects to reality, and then testing at places like Balasur ITR. So all this vast experience has helped me how to work in a mission mode and in a time bounded manner actually, and budget bounded manner also. So these are very, very critical when you build an engineering company. Because engineering companies suck a lot of capital in terms of the capex and then the working capital and all. So that discipline is very, very critical, and also the ability to work with wide variety of people, because here also when you set up a factory, so that ground level experience is very, very critical. I can say DRDO has given me a different dimension. Otherwise, earlier it was more of academia and R&D, my previous background, across UK and Germany. It's more of a cult actually what has given me, and also to really work on system integrations, because when normally when you are doing R&D and in academia world, you just focus on certain problems, certain area. So working at DRDO, it has given impetus that so how you have to respect everything, including closing the projects in budget and time bounded manner. And there there is a lot of usage of batteries and control systems. So definitely I've gained more and more deeper know-how, because normally in engineering and automotive world, so the kind of know-how you learn is at one level, but when you're developing certain things for space and defense systems, be it in terms of the safety, the analysis you do, and the kind of testings, the quality testing, so they're much more rigorous actually.
If we see the growth of PUREEV, so we can see the PUREEV rapidly growing in Indian market. So what's your business strategy?
See, the way we have grown in the last 4 years, it's all the credit goes to the customers, because the almost 99% of our sales have come from the organic strategy. It was product was speaking for itself. So when we were actually developing the product, always we had the customer segmentation very firmly in our mind, whom we are going to target as our customers. So from day zero, we kept the commute segment as our target audience. So there, the user experience, the mileage factor, the pickup, so all the parameters places lot of role compared to some of the software, the non-automotive kind of features actually. So that's what has given us the growth strategy in the last 4 years. So definitely we are going to stick to that organic strategy. And in the coming years, we will definitely now try, because our products have been stabilized and we have got more than 70,000 users actually. That's a large base. We have driven more than 200 crore kilometers, and the proof to concept is taken place. We have a good network of dealers now. So now we want to grow very aggressively, exponentially, with a mix of organic and inorganic strategy in terms of the business.
How are you going to maintain and accelerate this growth?
See, the maintenance of the growth, I can say, because we are in the scooter segment so far, and we have got a great feedback from the customers. So the way is so we have to grow the network, which we are today at 60-70 dealers, to something like 500-700,000, which already most of the competition is at actually. And the second driver for the growth strategy is now very recently we have introduced new products to our portfolio, like motorbikes and all. So we are going to strongly push them, because that market is wide open for everybody and including us. And the third thing is so far we have stuck to the organic. Now a lot of inorganic strategies we are bringing in terms of the branding, promotions, advertising. So with all these three drivers, we feel that in the next 4 to 5 years we'll grow by minimum 20x.
You have wide range of electric vehicles. So how your product is different from others in the market, and how are you catering to customer needs? There are different needs for different customer segments, right? So how are you catering the need?
See, the way we chose our customer segment, especially in the scooter segment, is it's all about plain vanilla customers who wants to travel for daily commute. His need is he has to travel from place A to B, C, and so that's the segmentation we chose. And always we stuck to the value for money kind of products. Neither we are not in the extremely bottom side of the price, neither on the premium side. So I think this is where the 60-70% of the market for Indian scooter segment is there actually. In terms of the differentiation, always from day zero, even now actually, especially in the last 1.5 year, the mileage, and all the whatever the marketing statements we are making in terms of the performance parameters, it could be mileage or the pickup, the durability and all. Always we have delivered, I believe, 1% extra. In fact, if you look at in the industry, most of the mileage numbers are 100, 150, 90, round figures actually. And since last 1 year, we developed this strategy, coining these mileage numbers with 151, 201. In fact, sales team members and dealers have asked us also, what is this one? So I told them so if anybody is purchasing PUREEV product actually, he should get a 1 kilometer extra mileage on the road actually, because this has been a great concern for the customers, especially in the EV industry because of lack of charging infra or whatever it is. So we wanted to deliver that kind of message that, if you buy PUREEV product, the basic functionality, basic performance parameters, they are being delivered more than what we are committing in terms of the marketing action.
Definitely, I can say that, differentiation is the key, and that's how PUREEV is ahead of others. If you see, PUREEV is one of the top 3 players in EV motorbike sales. So how do you see the segment growing?
See, coming to the motorbikes, when we started Pure in 2018, 2019, even in the initial days itself, we kind of envisioned very firmly that, India is all so if you see maybe 30, 40 years back, if you see 4 or 5 scooters, you used to see 1 motorcycles. But now it's completely diagonally opposite that, you see 4 or 5 motorcycles and 1 scooter actually. So we felt in the initial 5 years back itself that, yes, scooters is a great product to start with actually, but country needs motorcycles. I'm not just talking about the cities. You go to the towns, tier 2 cities as well as rural market. It's all dominated heavily by motorcycles. So suddenly, just because we are making electric technology, battery technology and all software-driven vehicles, the customer, from a perception perspective, from a driving experience perspective, he will not change. So that is where we had the strong vision that, in EV industry also, the motorcycles will play a strong role actually. Yes, they are not the low-hanging fruits like scooters, because scooters are easy to build and the powertrain is very easy to kind of operate actually. Motorcycles is much, much more complex. So that's where we took 3-4 years and developed the products and launched very recently in the last 1 year is when we started entering into the sales of the electric motorcycles. And it was a fantastic and great response. Although there are 10-15 other startups who are operating in the electric motorcycle segment, in terms of sales already Pure has already kind of gone to the number 2 place, and definitely we are gunning for number 1 in the next 1.5 year. And the reason in terms of the motorcycles, definitely it is coming to the high powertrain performance. The users require that kind of adrenaline juice actually in the motorcycles, and longer mileage. Unlike scooters, motorcycles are being driven for more and more distance. So here we are talking about 150, 170, 200 kilometer kind of mileage numbers actually. And this is where in the next 3 to 5 years also Pure will give a lot of emphasis. Even if I'm not aggressive, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years only in the motorcycles, we might bring the solid state battery technology also. Because what it can offer us is deliver a motorcycle with 120, 150 kmph kind of top speed, and with a lighter weight actually, and with a mileage numbers of 250, 300 kilometers. This is the kind of vision we have scripted for the next 3 to 5 years in the motorcycle segment.
Yeah, I can say that motorbike segment is booming, and Pure is well positioned to lead the market.
It will boom by 100x in the next 6 years. Mark my words. Today, maybe some players are taking the electric motorcycle segment bit lighter actually. Yes, electric scooter segment is going to is booming. CAGR growth will be 25, 30, 35%. But electric motorcycle segment will boom by 100, 110% CAGR per annum actually for next 6 years. That's 100x growth in next 6-7 years. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So we have seen some of the big names in your cap table, and how did it help to start during your start of the venture, and how is it going to help in the future?
See, yes, we are fortunate to onboard some of the marquee investors in the last 4-5 years, starting with IT Hyderabad, who has been not just a founder shareholder, there have been angel investors also. And there are 3-4 other names who are coming from listed space like Natco Pharma and Laurus Labs. There are investors from Europe also, UK and all who are onboarded. So this, in the initial days, the initial set of investors have given us a kind of DNA for the company today. Like, where whoever sees today Pure, like, what is it's known for: long mileage technology, the battery, the software, and also the profitability. So this DNA was injected into us, like, me and Rohit, and thanks to our investors who are coming from the manufacturing background, who are coming from the engineering background actually. So the way we respected and valued every rupee, like, yes, we have generated and raised great amount of funding, but the way we consumed also, like, it was well disciplined actually. So the way it has gone into the capex or the R&D or the business development and all, like, so investors, more than the money, some of the investors have given us the guidance and how to build a sustainable business model with the back of technology. And they also guided us that, initial years you go organic so that you have the time and patience to test the waters, to understand who are your customers, and especially how the dealers are receiving your products actually, like, in terms of the ROI and all. So all the market investors, I can say, like, so they really helped us, and continuously they're backing the company, like, every year, every round, almost, like, the previous set of investors also participate.
So Dr. Nishanth, can you elaborate on the specific innovations PUREEV is implementing to enhance battery longevity and performance?
See, battery, before, I think EV we started in 2018-19, but on the battery and the energy systems, me and Rohit were working almost since 2014-15 actually. Especially I have done a lot of work on the lithium-ion battery, like, mainly from the cell chemistry perspective, thermal engineering, electronics, software development. Even in DRDO, certain projects I've handled from for example, this mission Gaganyaan, like, the entire fire safety system design for the lithium-ion batteries, like, I've reviewed, because, and that too, like, these are, like, outer space vehicles, this is not on ground. So that knowledge has given us the perfect direction to get the best batteries being developed in-house, and design, the backward integration, vertical integration, even the manufacturing being done in-house. That has given us the edge in terms of the competition, but in terms of the margins also. But what we have learned in the last 2-3 years is customers are not buying the technology. Customers are not really worried about, like, this is a great battery or what is the technology gone into. See, basically they are buying a user experience. That is what matters. So the way we have fine-tuned our batteries now in the last couple of years to our vehicles is, how do you get the best marriage done of your batteries for your powertrain actually. And that is where, like, we have done a lot of work in terms of the platform development with AI, artificial intelligence tools actually. Because battery is almost like a human body, like, it's you have to control it. No battery is God battery. No, even, like, whatever the best battery you develop, if you don't know how to use it, like, and if you don't understand how the customers are driving. And this is where, like, we have taken, like, millions or, like, almost 1 billion cases, like, how the battery is being used on drive, like, on road conditions, and developed lot of complex algorithms through the AI tools. And again, like, just to talk about some of the facilities we have built, supercomputing facilities and all. So these made our batteries function at 20-30% better life cycle, and almost, like, 30-40x better in terms of the thermal engineering, and in terms of durability, like, the customers are crossing 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, even 1 lakh kilometers. Some of the electric cars have not done these numbers on ground actually. So when you say groundbreaking, it is not just in terms of IP on paper, it is actually groundbreaking on the ground. Like, I think we have more than 11,000 customers who have crossed 40,000 kilometers actually across pan India. So just in a span of 3.5 years.
So battery longevity is very important.
Very
It's
critical. Yeah.
good to see how Pure is pushing the boundaries.
Yes.
So you're an expert in advanced energy systems. So please tell us about the efficient charging.
So it's a great, I think problem to have, like, in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, because there is a now chicken and egg scenario is going on today in the country, because we don't have, like, crores of or millions of electric vehicles to set up charging infra. So basically, in terms of batteries, like especially lithium-ion batteries, So they have some limitation then some how fast you can charge actually. So that is where the customers are facing issues. Like, if you want to go for fast charging, the battery life is reducing very fast actually. If you want to go for slow charging, again, like, waiting at a charging station for hours and hours is a big trouble actually.
True.
So where we see the kind of balancing, like, so I think I have to segment it out. Like, I think in scooters, we see that in the next 5-10 years, the swapping systems will evolve very aggressively with the renewable battery option, where the customer can charge the battery at his house or office when there is no vehicle being driven actually. Or like, either the companies like OEMs like us, I don't know, like, or government or some large infra players will come into the swapping stations very aggressively. Like, I don't think so in scooter segment, this swapping thing, nobody can stop. The customers, like, wants to have this kind of removable option. Because in scooters, like, if you deliver 60, 70, 80 kmph with a 100 kilometer kind of mileage, people are okay actually. Now coming to the motorcycle segment, like, people again have a lot of ambitions in terms of the performance and the mileage. So there we see that the fast charging will play a significant role actually, both in the high performance scooter segment as well as in the motorcycle segment. So charging stations is, standalone charging stations development is one thing. But again, like, the way I said, like, the battery has to get perfectly married to your charger, like, so in terms of what C-rate currents you are charging and what kind of thermal management, so it's almost like, a human body, like, so if you don't maintain your body in terms of the hydrology perspective and, like, temperature perspective, you will have health issues. Battery is also as simple as that.
Yeah, it's just like human body.
Yeah, it's like human body. It's as simple and as complex as that, like, So the charging kind of protocols will play a significant role in the battery life and including the safety also. So I see that, already the momentum has picked up across all the companies in terms of the infra also. And we thank the government also, especially in terms of the latest PM e-drive scheme. They have given a huge importance to the setting up the charging stations. Now this time what they have done is, it's not just a charging station for buses and cars actually. Now they're thinking about all these small chargers for the two-wheeler and three-wheeler also. So with this, I see that in the next 3-5 years, the industry is going to become unstoppable. Like, if the charging infra. And what we feel is that, there has to be some kind of uniform protocol, maybe in terms of the connectors, the software protocols. I think this is where the industry has to come forward and work together. And I believe that, it has already started, like, from some of the players that, already they're talking about, like, see, if you take our mobile phones, right, today, like, they're all operating on the uniform connectors.
Yeah.
So in the last 4-5 years, like, all of us, because we are R&D driven, engineering driven, we have developed our own charger connectors, protocols and all. I think now this is where the industry has to come forward as an ecosystem and go for a more of a uniform protocol and a uniform hardware in terms of the connectors.
Yeah. So that is the kind of innovation we all are looking for.
Yes.
And thank you for your valuable insights, Dr. Nishanth, about the future of electric mobility. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. As we have learned today, Dr. Nishanth Dongari is not only an innovator, but also a highly accomplished expert in his field. From his days at IIT Bombay to his international research experience and his pivotal work with DRDO, Dr. Nishanth's technical expertise and passion for sustainability have fueled the growth for PUREEV. As India moves towards the greener future, Dr. Nishanth is undoubtedly a leader to watch, driving the electric vehicle revolution with innovation and vision.